You should just. I think you just click off it, right? You're like.
All
I
right.
was like, there's some way to do it.
We're good. All right, shall we?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's rock and roll.
Let's hide that. Let's show our spoilers right off with that. You guys will have to forgive me. I'm working on my lighting in my new office, so I'm a little fucking going nuts right now. Welcome, everybody, to our spoilers. We've got 3 of them, if you didn't guess from the thumbnail. So let us know how our audio is coming across. Can you hear me okay? Blake? Jason,
Hello, everybody.
Hello. What's up? What's up?
Once we get the thumbs up that we're coming across good, we'll get her kicked off. Card sucks.
Oh, card sucks
don't even
already.
need to
Jordan's
show it.
already
He knows.
ready. Jordan is ready. Jordan, are you live, ready for your reaction so we can watch your reaction after the reaction of the reaction?
I'll be honest, I'm excited to see the Scar for Scar channel's recap of the spoiler season.
Yeah, so don't disappoint us. So if you're not recording yet, make sure that your phone is up.
All right.
Jordan. Get it ready
I
to
hate
go.
this
We wanna
bullshit
see it.
when people drag it out. So I'm just gonna go into the first spoiler. Okay,
Yeah.
Jason.
Yeah,
we're
we're gonna go. Go.
Got it up in front of you.
I got it. Tell me when it's up.
It's up, baby. Let's
A
go.
statement piece for the homestead of those with a noble heart. Indeed, the talisman is a poignant reminder of the egalitarian virtues and the balance that exists in all things. Talisman of Balance. Go again at the beginning of your end phase. If you have less cards in your arsenal than an opposing hero, destroy Talisman of Balance and put the top card of your deck into an empty arsenal zone you control. So, maybe a very, very good UPF card, possibly a sideboard card banter for a mirror in the Ranger class. That's all I got to say about Talisman for right now. Let's hit the next one.
Yeah, just jumping right into it there, Blakey Fresh.
Yeah, we could talk about him afterwards.
No, it's mine. Mine's next.
Yeah, it's you.
All right.
Go.
The next one. Potion of Deja Vu. The Braumeisters of Aria cook up all manners of strange and fanciful concoctions. Those amongst you brave enough to delve into this rainbow river may discover for yourself the secrets of a brand new world that feels strangely familiar. Instant. Destroy Potion of Deja Vu. Put all cards from your pitch zone on top of your deck in any order. This is super interesting to me, but we can talk about it more afterwards. Like, I think we kind of went in like a certain order here. 5-second thoughts. I don't think it's going to be super like viable. I don't know, unless there's like someone that really capitalizes on having items. I don't know. It seems kind of niche, but all right, Blakey, you ready?
Yeah, let's do it. An amulet inscribed with visions of a dying world, of beings that would see all of Wraith diminished and this crazy buzz of life return to silence. Amulet of Echoes. Go again. Instant. Destroy Amulet of Echoes. Target hero discards 2 cards. Activate this ability only if you have played 2 or more cards. If they have played 2 or more cards with the same name this turn. That is, to me, it was when we first got this card, to be fair, this was like pre-bans, so we're like, this is gonna crush Briar. Plunder, get wrecked. And then it's like ban Plunder, and you're like, okay, it's not quite as good now.
It's good going into, if Brute becomes a thing, the double barraging, you can pop 2 cards. It is crazy they're getting hand control into the game, and I think you need it with a lot of the spoilers coming right now.
That's my thing, is like just looking at this, and I think it's why we kind of put it last. We sort of did like an order of our strength, how we view it strength-wise. But yeah, I think that just having pure floating hand destruction, like it basically just makes them play differently, possibly, right? Like not necessarily, but possibly throughout the game. It's just floating. If you play 2 cards the same turn, head jab.
I think
I see ya. Whatever it is.
Yeah, I think Potion of Deja Vu is interesting, like for Kano, because of the potential of just like resetting your pitch order. Better yet, you pitch a Gaze the Ages, you pitch to Kano, you Gaze of Ages, you bounce it back to your hand. Like it creates some really interesting potential.
Yeah, discard's definitely interesting.
I'm gonna put these up on
What
Facebook.
what is
page now
everybody else
so
think
people
so
have,
far of of other spoilers that come up. I mean, me and Blake are 100% on the Bravo hype train. Guardian is going to be smashing some major face in the upcoming meta. I'll be curious to see what else we get for big cards for the remaining of the heroes.
Yeah, I think the thing that really interests me is that so far, like the good cards, right? Not necessarily every card, obviously, that's come out for a class or whatever. Like there are certain classes that have gotten some really solid options. Like the illusionist card is crazy. The Bravo cards, like pulverize for Guardians is kind of bonkers. Heave is a really cool design space where you can kind of toss it in and have some interaction with the card and help yourself play it and things. Like stuff like that is really interesting to me that they're playing with some of that design space, and they've really, added some really cool cards. Stuff like these, I feel like these are the kind of cards that there are a lot of them at least, that these items are like, okay, when are these things going to be really good, and
Yeah.
what deck is going to capitalize on it?
So when we saw this, I was like, dude, there's got to be like an alchemist or something this set, right? Because with the potions and stuff, like we were talking about with like potions and items, having all of this stuff added to the game, or like we saw 3 of them, right? Those were our spoilers, and we were like, okay, there might be a lot of this coming out this set, which I think there is, right? Like compared to other sets, there's lots of items and potions and stuff.
I mean, and that's probably why everybody thought that the one card was for mech hate, but they had to put hate in for all these items because, like we saw with Crucible, you don't know what's going to become super powerful right when these cards are released. So right now, some of these might be meh, and in 3 weeks, everybody's going to be hunting down cold foils and shinies because they need 3 of. I mean, just look at Snag, how horrible Snag was, and then everybody needed Snag, and now Snag is gone again. So you just never know the cycle of these cards, how they're going to come in and out. But yeah, the deja vu Kano cycle, definitely any blue helps. Plus being able to pop it off the top off of his ability is pretty good for items. So Kano can definitely utilize items about as good as any hero.
Yeah. Well, and I think his ability with deja vu actually interacts the best too, because it's kind of like energy potion. Because the thing, right, the reason that energy potion is so good in Kano is because Kano kind of ignores the fact that it doesn't have go again. Effectively, he gets to play at instant speed,
right.
and like Potion of Deja Vu is a card that is the same kind of issue where it's like, well, what do I do with it? I'm going to play it with no go again. That feels bad. But again, Kano is able to do things with it that nobody else can do. Just getting it out at some point and then pitching Gaze the Aegis, then you pop Deja Vu, then you put Gaze on top, then you pitch a blue, you play Gaze the Aegis, it comes back to hand. It's like all of a sudden you turned 1 Gaze the Aegis into 2 pitch cards, which is kind of silly.
And like Dave just in our Australian and USA chat, we already got the thing from Dave. He goes, Potion of Deja Vu will be insane. Instant add Kano. So
that's the thing.
There's going to be cards. You need Wizard needs cards because Wizard got a lot of hate against it as well in this set by giving Guardian another arcane barrier. So he needs some help.
Yeah, I think Wizard's gonna get something. Yeah. Like it's gotta get something good. Like there's with the offhand arcane that came out, they can't just. I mean, I'm sort of anticipating they did that for a reason, but
they had to.
Yeah,
they
had to give out more arcane barrier to more classes. But yeah, I mean, people are saying in the chat. Sorry, I'm just gonna point out they're talking about like
you're good.
Items and how it's kind of always bad because of how you take up a deck slot. And I definitely sort of lean that direction. Is like, what's this going to replace in a deck? I think Wizard definitely viable, right? But like a lot of these other more like the more niche like items that we have, it's like I don't know what that replaces unless there's a hero that really capitalizes on it. I don't know how you're gonna see a ton
So
of it,
Kieran makes a great point. I just want to point it out. The fact that you pitched that Tome of Aetherwind.
Yep.
And now it instantly becomes a threat because you can break it, reorder your pitch order immediately. So if you need to play so you can pitch something. If you need to play that off the top, you can break it with still cards in hand, get that back on top to completely. I mean, it's going to make Kano math just
Yeah.
your brain is gonna fry because of the ordering that you're gonna need to do things. But yes,
I
it's probably a 3 of. It's probably immediate 3 of in CC Kano.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that stuff like this does bring up is the fact that like LSS doesn't do anything as just random filler. Like obviously, especially not in like this set or crew, there's no
huge.
reason to add filler.
Not huge blocks of it, at least, right? Like, there's definitely
Yeah.
some cards that are just like meh, but it's like we've seen a lot of stuff so far that seems sort of disjointed a little bit, not
Yeah.
drastic, but like these 3 items, they seem a
Right.
little bit disjointed. There's the merchant hero that lets you go and hunt stuff like this, right? But other than that,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like there's got to be something. I don't know.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is the fact that in a main set you have to add some filler because you need enough generics to be able to draft it and play it sealed because that's such a big part of the game.
But not
There's no
this.
reason to add
Yeah.
just filler potions in this, right? Like there's no reason to just throw, oh, I would just throw some random potion in here. There's who cares, whatever. Whereas, in main sets you do. So the question is, where is it along the line that some of these cards get good? And is it possible that at some point when they make an alchemist, there's an interaction with these items that's just different? Because alchemist is in the lore book, right? So it's coming eventually.
It'd be dope to see. I really like. We were talking about it. An alchemist that can like throw potions as attacks and just have a deck full of potions would be really kind of fun.
Yeah. A weapon
know.
that turns potions.
I'm
against
just
things.
super. I think as far as spoilers go, these first 2 days
Nuts, right?
have been absolutely bonkers. And if it
Gangbusters.
continues like this, because they always like every day gets a major one, and then these littler ones. I mean, these 3, you never know where these are going to end up in the meta or how it's going to once everything is released. But it's been insane. It's been a lot of fun, and I've already started. I had a notebook while I'm doing my work, jotting down cards that I want to put in New Bravo as they're popping into my head, just to start a list of my blue, yellows, and red counts. Because, I mean, we have 14 days to Minnesota's first Pro Quest as soon as this set hits.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
not much practice time.
Hell Puppy's saying he must be dumb because he can't see how potions are going to be good. I think it's just more of like filling an empty like card pool, right? Like not
Yeah.
to say it's filler, but just giving like that backlog of things that you can tap into in a meta where it's like, oh, this, like if something like Chain comes up where they like to seed seeds or something like that, it's like, oh, there's that potion, totally fucking make some discard.
Yeah.
Like that, like it's not something like this is an auto ad in this deck and this is out, like they're always going to run these potions. I don't think that's necessarily it.
Mhm.
Maybe the Kano, that seems pretty cool. Kieran had a good point in the comments, but because you can, so he was saying that you
Definitely
can pitch
deck dependent.
something because, and then hold priority instant and
Yeah, it's
cycle
gonna be
it back to the
insane.
top to play what you just pitched, which is interesting. But so
I
I don't
think-
think
I
it's
think
going to be
Amulet-
something that's an auto ad.
The other 2, I think the most iffy one is the adding the arsenal, but I think the Amulet of Echoes will probably see play at some point. There's going to be a card out there. It's just like if Ball Lightning wasn't banned and Plunder Run didn't ban, everybody would be saying this card is freaking a top-notch card. It might be a 1 or 2 of add in.
Even just
Yeah.
one,
So there's probably gonna be other
if you
cards
see it, drop it,
similar
and
to that.
then it's just
Yep.
there all game threading.
Yeah. At some point, it's interesting because you know that we've seen it now, to Jason's point, twice, right? Where we had cards that were 9 ofs in decks, and it's the
Yeah.
second that a card becomes a 9 of, like the full cycle, you get full of each color, then you immediately have to consider Amulet of Echoes if it's a play it every turn kind of card. You just go,
Mhm.
okay, this card's not bad. It has go again. That's the other
Yeah.
thing is it's not an item that kills your turn because you can do it and then swing a weapon or something. It doesn't completely eat your turn like Energy Pot. As good as Energy Pot and Time Snap are, the reality is those are cards that do feel bad in some decks simply because it's like, man, no go again is pretty brutal.
Yeah,
But
Kieran
something
seeing
like
the light,
Amulet of Echoes,
Kieran seeing the light on the Amulet of Echoes into Brute.
yeah.
Now
I think that was
you
like,
look
that was
at
our
cards.
first That was our first thought
Yep.
when we saw it. We're like, dude, because we had just seen some
Barraging.
right after we had seen some good brute cards. We're like, oh, brute's gonna be good. That Amulet of Echoes might be solid actually. But
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of areas that'll see play. I think these will see more play than what you initially will think, and that's just because especially in America, we've been in such an aggro meta. There's no time for it, but as you saw, New Zealand and Australia, some of those those games were. There's times to play those, and now when you have heroes like Bravo that have lightning and can blink into something like that and still swing 6 damage and blink something out, I don't know. It's going to leave a lot of creativity and good place to build decks.
Lots of I'm noticing that they're doing lots of parallel design space exploration this set, which is fucking sweet.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see them go laterally with with their design space, like not necessarily because like just add like Bravo, super simple adjustment to this new card, and all of a sudden his pool is huge. He's got tons of flexibility. Like it's great.
It's interesting.
Double invert at the very end, Zane.
You can respond.
You respond after the double invert, because if you do it at the end, the other person still gains priority back. So you can't do it at the end. That other person's still going to be able to pop that.
Unless you're talking about he's saying an empty hand at that point.
Yeah, I think he's saying if you pop it, if you pop it, you can double invert, but then it's the attacks. I think it's the attacks and the non-attacks, because that's the other thing to keep in mind is like Chain loves to set up that end game where they go howl, big attack. You can respond to the second howl and just go, you know what? Those last 2 cards in your hand, you're not pitching anything else. No more attacks for you. And if they don't have a free attack or resources floating, they just lose their cards and they just go howl. And it's like your turn's over. See ya. Bye, buddy.
The nice thing about it though too is that it just is there. They need to play around.
Right. It's I like the head game part. Somebody said that earlier in the chat. I do like what Chris says, pushes Brute towards more high roller attacks. I think by the card design for Brute, I think they're all about the high rolling in this set.
Yeah, I love.
Oh my goodness,
High
the
roller
dice
was
rolling.
Such a good name. Yeah, High Roller was such a good name. Like I feel, I think the real question with High Roller is just if you they gotta make sure it's worded right, because if like the joke is you're not technically, it's not even a joke, but the rule is random is not me picking. Random is rolling a die. So the question is, if I'm a Brute player and I go, okay, discard, I'm going to roll a die to choose which card I intimidate. If I roll a 4, 5, or 6, dude.
That's not how that works.
Loophole!
That's not how that works.
If you have rolled a 4, 5, or 6 on a die this turn, I'm just saying, you just got to find a reason to roll a die.
I do want to say something for because we've had requests since we've gone over our spoilers. We've had requests to respond to a recent Facebook post about somebody bashing on all content creators, and they want us to go Outcast Haven. So if you've never seen our channel before, we get a little animated and we go off the rails just a little bit, and we fully plan on doing that this Friday morning. And you should come watch it and see if you enjoy just watching people lose their shit, because it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we have a good time with it, and that amped me up, man. That post, like, just the fucking.
We'll save
of
you gotta save it. You gotta save it.
Yeah, we'll save it. That is it. Yeah. So what so far do you guys have? Because I know. So here's I guess my thing, because I'd be interested what everybody's still hanging. We still got a bunch of people hanging out. So what is everyone's favorite card spoiled so far? In the comments right now, what is your favorite card that's been spoiled? And then I'm going to ask all of us to do that, but taking away cards that fall into our class. Because obviously Jason and I are very excited about anything related to Bravo, and Dane is very excited about.
Has Bravo had spoiled cards? Has Bravo
just like
Bravo
one
card's been spoiled?
Yeah, there's just like one Guardian thing.
Dane, you're very quiet.
Am I quiet?
That's you're quiet.
My thought is that we're going to get some Runeblade support, and they wanted to just pump like crazy Bravo stuff out there first and just like get people's attention amped up. Because if Runeblade came out first, that's all spoiler season would be about. So they got to get people distracted with crazy Bravo stuff. Yeah, I'm really happy.
And then people complain about Bravo.
That's fine. I don't care. Like, I'm happy to hear anything other than Runeblade bitching. So
Right, right. I mean, and not to mention, it was a good redirection because if you noticed in the live stream of the New Zealand Nationals, people immediately were ready to just like hang Prism in the street. They're like, no, no, no. We're taking her to the guillotine, public execution. It's time for Prism to go. And it's like Prism literally just got good again. She was so dead for national season with Lightning Briar or Cheerios running around. It's like she's alive again. She's good again, and people are immediately, which just proves the fact that if a deck wins, people hate it. So, unless it's their favorite deck.
People are setting their stuff right now. There's some good stuff coming in. What is even bigger than that? Somebody said hands down. Which one was that?
That's the generic. It's where
There it is.
If an attack hits, you found it.
Yep. Op 3. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So I think actually the card that I like, and I love the name of it because I think it's a good naming thing and it's a card that the game needs, is Smashing Good Time. I love that it's kind of like a great homage to Arg Smash, Smashing Good Time to destroy items. I would argue, this would be my argument personally, and I'm curious if other people feel this way. We were starting the body about this actually, and I think that the design of that card actually will get mech more support. I think that LSS was, in the same way they have to be careful with Kano support, they have to be careful with Dash support, because Dash is towing that fine line
of being an uninteractable Voltron deck, where it's like once it's built, you can't do anything about it. Yeah. Yep.
Exactly. So their design space is incredibly limited in mech, because the second you make one card that tips the scale a tiny bit, then it doesn't just tip it a little bit. It's not a little too strong. It's completely unfun. It's a miserable experience. And I think that card is a great thing because it opens up design space in mech where now they can make some cool stuff.
Yeah. So you're not going to let me say the Benji specialization or the new Illusionist card?
Benji's fine.
I got mine.
Okay. I have to say Fractal, just because it's so fucking crazy. Like,
it is.
That I love too, that design space that they explored, because that means that every attack that comes out for Illusionist gets evaluated with this in mind. It's like the Shyana thing, right? Where it's like Shyana's just only going to get better. This card's only going to get better with what comes out new. It's like there are so many things, like you pop Dreamweavers into an Erudition and then Herald of Triumph for 7, and then you know what I mean? Like, it's just, there's so many things that you can combine, like a Phantasmaclasm into an Erudition into this. Like, it's just, there's so many fucking things that you can do that it becomes really silly. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what else they come out with.
I got my card for my meme deck I'm making. This is going to be the ultimate meme deck with the new Bravo. It's going to be dueling Winter Whales with blinks, time snaps, pummels, and fire breathing. And I'm just going to pummel fire breathing and boost it. Pretty much the whole deck's going to be blue except for like six reds with my fire breathing, some pummels. And it's going to be my meme deck. And I'm just going to fire breathe, pummel it, buff it with the blues. It's going to be insane. There's going to be energy potions everywhere. I'm never going to have to pay for cards. Just going to be potion decks with Winter Whales and ice. That's all it's going to be. Just Bravo running around smashing shit with Winter Whales. That's my meme deck.
Fire breathing and blink. You said all that.
Fire breathing. It's a 2-cost.
Yeah,
it gets pummeled.
No,
it's pummable.
Yeah, and it's just a one to pump it. Yep.
Buffable.
Which is just, that card is the meh of all meh cards. I don't know.
Fire breathing?
I'm not a huge fan of fire breathing. It's like a crappy exude.
It's an
expensive exude.
How's it an expensive exude?
Because
after you pay the first 2, it's 1-for-1 in a blue deck. That's better.
It ends up netting. I think it ends up netting out better though, right? Because
if you dump hand, or if you play from Arsenal and then dump blue hand into it,
but the key is you can pummel it. Can't pummel exude.
Can't pummel exude.
Just make CNC an illusionist card.
Yeah, Phantasmify becomes very interesting too. Phantasmify CNC Fractal. I mean, you got to have Go again. That's the biggest issue there.
Get rid of the Arsenal twice.
Just the fact that they can't play defense into some decks, that's gross, because it's just like no defense reactions for you all turn. I love the idea.
I love the idea that you can put Fractal in Arsenal, and then just wait till maybe you see another Fractal, maybe you set up pitch, so second time around you see like 2 Fractals and an Erudition or something, and you just Dreamweaver's Erudition, Fractal, Fractal. And it's like you just get 3 dominated Eruditions at you. And then amidst that, you're drawing 2 cards after every one. The Fractals are free, so it's like you spent 2 resources. You draw theoretically 6 cards if they'd all hit. Like, it can be super silly. None of them have Phantasm or the fucking Spectra, or that's not it. Whatever, the thing that lets you pop them. You know what I'm talking about.
Phantasm.
Phantasm. Thank you. I wanted to say Phantasm again, but no.
Dane. That's what Dane had today.
Fractal
when
doesn't
he
copy
saw
Herald
Fractal.
abilities.
He had a Phantasmaclasm.
Michael. No, yeah, ignore that. Yeah, there's lots of cool shit. I like the Benji ability. I hope we get like an adult Benji.
Knick-knack, bric-a-brac. Yeah, that's probably one of the better names. I don't know. I've never read it, but it's a cool name. I love the name, and the art's kind of crazy. I don't think I'd go into that guy's shop if I saw him there in the front of the tent. I'd probably avoid that, but sweet-ass name.
I think one of the things that's interesting about Fab during spoiler season is that every card reads either really good or really bad, and then it takes a minute to read it a couple of times to make sure you process all of the possible information. Because sometimes you just read a card and you're like, oh, that seems pretty good. Then you read it a second time, you're like, wait, I definitely didn't check for this one clarification. A prime example is Bingo, because the first time I read that card, I was like, oh, that's super interesting, because I get to look at a card from your hand, and then if it's this or that, it's good. And then I realized, oh, it's your opponent reveals a card from their hand because they reveal. It's when it hits, and then it just specifies a response to non-attacks and attacks. So if they just show you a defense reaction, you just don't get either. You don't get a draw, you don't get go again. It's like, oh, that card sucks. Like that it got so much worse. Like the second time I read it, I was like, man, if it hits, they choose, and then they can just give you nothing. Oh God, that got so awful. But I don't know. Overall, I'm loving some spoilers.
I'll be interested on everybody with the Fractal.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
The release notes say, and because if it goes to Soul, sometimes it's
because you can interact with a card that's
on the chain still. I mean,
you can interact with cards that have gone to Soul. Like if you don't declare that you're closing the combat chain and say that they paid a pump, and you don't close the combat chain, and they defend with like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of an example, like a card that has 5 power, and then you continue attacking, and then you retroactively pump the card that blocked the previous attack, even if it's gone to Soul, it still breaks the combat chain and closes it. So it still exists on the chain, but I could see them ruling either way. If it does rule that it's in Soul and not on the chain anymore, then that's shit. Fractal's not going to be as good. But
I guess his point too about the cards, it can copy their abilities, but then the clarification needs to be the fact that the ability usually specifies if Herald of X hits, do this, but if it gets copied to Fractal Replication, it's not it's no longer Herald of Triumph or Herald of Erudition. It's Fractal Replication.
Hitting. Yeah, that's true.
So then the hit effect doesn't go through. The Soul doesn't happen. It just becomes that's such a. We talked about, like you said today, about the whole interaction with the chain and the release notes. Or I wouldn't mind if they didn't give us a. I loved, honestly, like just the minor quick clarification. Like everybody is like, yeah, obviously you can play Crippling Crush with Bravo. It's like, well, right. I'm 99.99% sure that's going to happen. But then you're like, the article that Carol wrote comes out to clarify it, and you're like, perfect. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. Just being sure, I like a rules clarification from the company.
And I guess I'm operating right now that I'm under the impression that would happen, because if not, the situations in which Fractal is going to get to copy anything is like
zero.
Yeah, it's either getting popped or
it's like pretty much a worthless card at that point.
Right. So I'm operating with the assumption that it's going to be able to copy heralds that have resolved, because if not, then why run it? But,
right.
but
That's good.
the
hit
I want
effect
to see,
thing.
I want to see
Yeah, the hit
one or the other.
The hit effect thing based on the name is really important. I will say Phantasmaclasm is probably the best example of a card, which, to be fair, might actually make the most sense because it's a generic illusionist card. It's not a light illusionist.
Yep. And
So
they
it's
got the
so
well,
it
might
could
not
just be
copy Heralds.
copying like the hit effects. It could not. It might honestly. It could just end up being the fact that it doesn't get Erudition's effects.
Mhm.
Like it doesn't get hit go to soul, which would make sense based on the fact that it's a generic illusion card. It wouldn't copy a light illusionist card.
Mhm. But it would get
So-
to dominate. It would get the
It could-
yeah.
Yeah. So it wouldn't get the hit draw, but it would get the other stuff. And then it would be good on like, other stuff, Phantasmaclasm in the chain, Enigma Chimera, stuff like that. Because then
Yeah.
it's copying just
Well,
the
Enigma Chimera
generic
doesn't have any
power.
abilities. It's just the power.
Right. But it would be good with Spears of Surreality because then it automatically
again.
has go again no matter what you
Yeah.
pitch. So that could be important to like a future illusionist. So
For sure. And if it doesn't end up copying Heralds, I mean, that's fine. It's still design space for future illusionist attacks.
Future.
So
I'm pumped to see we got a lot left coming out in these next we got a week from Friday till the set releases. So usually
Yeah.
spoilers run up pretty close to that, and we'll get a box opening from somebody probably the Thursday before. And
mhm.
I'm pumped. I'm ready to see some more. I hope Guardian gets something good. It seems like he's kind of got shafted so far. No, just kidding.
Show me-
I'm ready for Wizard. I'm hoping
Yeah.
Bolton gets something better than what's come out. I know there's a lot of other people hoping stuff. I'd like to see Dash get a little bit of help.
No,
I just
yeah,
want to
for
see
sure.
wide open meta and have fun going in the Pro Quest. So
well, Dash
that's all I
got
got
smashed.
for you.
Dash got smashed in good time. That's what she needed. Really was some interaction. Actually, that might it might push people towards if that card just exists. It could make for like a lot more fun interactions with Dash, where Dash is just like boosting wildly, which is actually it's more fun to play against Dash when you're just like yelling at each other, just throwing blows because they're just like boost, 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 boost. Every attack is a boost because the whole deck is mech. I think that's a fun way to play. That's like the best part about mech is the boost and just getting go again like crazy. So
Just boost away.
yeah, man, don't
Yep,
sit there and
so-
pistol shot people.
So the release notes for Monarch, I found it. So the release notes for Monarch, if depending on how they rule the copying the Herald ability, right? Like if it even can get the effect, but if even if it goes to soul, if the attack is put into your hero's soul, the combat chain does not close, and the chain link remains on the combat chain along with all of the defending cards and attack reactions. So even if it goes into soul, the combat chain for all effects
It's
intents
essentially
and
still in the
purposes,
combat
it's
chain.
still there. Yep.
So now it just goes to the fact of how the wording will work out.
Yep.
Yeah,
Which
I think either
honestly,
way,
I'm fine one way or another.
Yeah.
We're getting new toys. That's all I want. So,
yeah,
Look at that.
more stuff.
ooh, Mason got.
Oh
home.
yeah, there you go.
I
Yeah.
got mine somewhere.
Blake's and mine.
Yeah,
All right. Well,
I got nothing else besides
I got nothing.
come watch us on Friday.
oh,
Tomorrow
yeah,
we're gonna
gameplay.
have gameplay
gameplay tomorrow.
Gameplay is gonna hit tomorrow. Me and Blake met up and played a little Chain Bravo matchup. The deck I ran is 3 cards off what KO ran at Nationals. May have a little preview of that deck before he played it and made it, but didn't release this video till after Nationals. So
Yeah.
that will be Wednesday, and then come watch us Friday. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna rip on some people, like we like to do, and
Dig a little
talk
more
more.
into the full spoilers we've gotten thus
Yeah,
far.
we'll have more. Yeah, and then we're
we
gonna
are
make a
gonna-
big push.
Go
I was
ahead.
just gonna say we're gonna make a big push once Everfest comes out. I think we all have like boxes and cases locally. We're gonna try and scoop them up and get gameplay, going. Yeah, we might
No box openings. Fuck
yeah.
that.
no
gameplay.
box openings. We'll probably get a
live.
maybe
It's
maybe the body
we're
coming
just
out and play
opening
games
and
Yeah.
watching.
Before more people drop, though, just want to let you guys know that we are doing community posts. So if you like and subscribe, you'll get the notification when a community post goes up. And we're looking for input on podcast content, gameplay, like matchups that you want to
Yeah,
see.
matchups.
So we're looking to be a little more interactive this coming year and just actually give the community what they're asking for instead of just doing shit that we want to do. We're still going to do shit that we want to do, but we want to try
we-
and get that to
we
mesh
also-
with what you guys want a little bit as well. So let us
We
know
also
in
like
those
to see what
community
you
posts.
want. Oh yeah.
Make a lightning Bravo. Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Done.
That's
Just
that's
for
fine.
you.
We got you, Jared. Just
Gur,
for
I
you,
already
Jared.
said that. That's my meme deck,
Yeah.
my Winter Wailing Blink deck.
I think maybe
We'll
he
talk
means.
about
I
it,
think
Gur.
maybe he means a good lightning Bravo.
Oh, this is going to be great. So yeah, we'll go down a level.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all we got. Be sure to like and subscribe. We'll talk to y'all Friday. Peace.